I think both teams had opportunities to win the game, to be honest. I think it's interesting the fatigue factor coming late in quarters, and particularly the second half, where goal kicking and decisions going inside 50 and kicking through the middle of the ground under some fatigue's been was a bit relevant today, and it's certainly happened in other games, but certainly today's game, I think both teams had opportunities to get that extra 2 or 3 in front from set shot goals, and unfortunately from our point of view, we didn't take the opportunities, and I think the Swans did the same. How hard is it? Oh, I think if you've ever played the game, you'd love to be involved in it. That's what it's all about. It's how hard you're prepared to go when the game's on the line, and for us to hold out almost for 2.5 to 3 minutes is an almost victory, just like a draw is an unfamiliar feeling because it doesn't happen that often. I haven't given it much thought, to be honest. I think home and away. Home and away if it's a drawn, but I think finals are extra time. But if it's extra time, then it would be more 10 minutes each quarter rather than just who scores. I don't think that's a viable option. But haven't given much thought, to be honest. But I think the system the way it is now is fine. Yeah, no, Cole. Yeah, I thought that's a fair call. He, when you're playing on an elite player in the competition who can bob up and kick 2 or 3 within 2 or 3 minutes, I thought Cole fought his way back into the contest and probably his positioning improved from the point of view of not allowing Goodsy to get the best position or the best first look at the footy. So I thought he just changed his angle slightly, he readjusted his game, and I thought he was very instrumental in the result in the end for us. I thought, Cole. Yeah, I think during the game, that last part of the jigsaw going inside 50, from 50 to 80 metres, I think we probably didn't have enough unpressured situation to go inside 50 from there, if you like. But I mean, that's really going to be a telling factor. I think we probably turned the ball over at times, between 50 and 80, where we had possession of the ball and we needed probably a better decision or a little bit more composure with the footy kicking inside 50. And I think then the end result is the forwards actually mark the football, or they become a bit more predictable. But I think we had our opportunities, but that last part of kicking inside 50, that's really going to determine whether you're kicking shots at goal from 0 to 25 rather than 35 to 50. I think we had a number of shots that were sort of 35 to 50. Yeah, if it works one week, it's great. The next week it doesn't work, so that's going to be the conundrum with it. I mean, it's obviously there for an injury, and we were talking about it during the late in the third quarter, and I decided that Adam Marrick had just shown a couple of glimpses, but we just thought that Ricky's a little bit more excitement up forward. Probably the end of your question, Michael, in the sense of kicking inside 50 and getting a mark. I thought he impacted the game. Ricky he kept looking at me for the whole game. Sitting down on the bench is good, but he just kept looking over and glaring at me, waiting to get on the ground. So, but he impacted when he came on, which is good. I spoke about it probably midway through the third quarter, but we were starting to get a little bit of ball movement happening with the guys who are on the ground, and there's always that risk of the injury comes. When does it come? If you've already subbed in a close game and then you get an injury and use it as a tactical aspect, you do leave yourself open a little bit. But that was always going to be the challenge for us, that if we needed something a bit different in the forward line, then we had Ricky up our sleeve. So we sort of got away a little bit today, but we didn't get the result in the end. Yeah, I think the contested possession against the Swans, and I mean contested possession, the stoppages, we're going to be really important during the game. And I just thought that our effort to continue from the start to the finish. There are going to be ebbs and flows in games where, like I said, we were 4 goals down, but we just found a way to hang in there and found a way to get back into the game, which I think was terrific. And I mean, being down on the ground, to hear the crowd start to really come into the game and be that 19th man, if you like, they were loud. The last couple of minutes, they were clapping every stoppage, if you like. Every time the ball went neutral, they were really supporting the boys when they got in front. So that was a great feeling for the players to have. Yep. Surge, and it was just hectic. I mean, you don't get a great viewing from ground level, but you could hear the bodies hit So they were. It was very, very physical. The last 3 minutes, very physical, and it only takes a free kick or a high tackle or a slip on an arm that slips up onto the shoulder for a free kick to be paid. So that was. I'm glad to see that the umpires sort of let it run there. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think we've certainly got better in that area 12 months on. I mean, I think our players. Well, I know our players are certainly physically stronger from what we're moving in the weights room. So, yeah, I don't know, maybe not. I think that's part of the improvement in the team. I mean, contested possession is going to be a word that's going to get thrown around every single week, but I thought we sort of battled hard in there. So, yeah, no, I think we've probably improved in that area. That's a good call. Yeah, I think he's a player who we can use wing halfback like we use him today. So. Well, look, for a debut game, I thought he was good, Luke, and the physical part of the game doesn't really bother him too much. So he first up he was impressive, I think. Yeah. If you're using the ball well, it's amazing how and you're being effective and you're gaining meterage going forward. Then fatigue doesn't look like it's a problem. But if you're defending all the time, you all of a sudden look like you look slow and you look fatigued and you look tired. So I think we just hung in there and we were still spreading pretty hard in the last quarter. With 5 or 6 minutes to go before the 3 minutes of stoppage, our boys were still looking for spread. They were still looking for speed out of stoppage and out of turnovers. So that was good to see. And they'll get a lot of confidence. The first game is always a challenge. I think most players think and have got confidence that they're fit. And I think once they play the game, then they really establish themselves that I've had a pretty good pre-season. And for us to have no injuries out of it is an outstanding performance in the sense of if you look at the last few games that have been played, there's always been injury. Yeah, I don't take into any consideration the blokes who aren't in the team, to be honest. I mean, the blokes who performed out there today were the ones who got themselves back into it. So they're the ones who probably deserve the pat on the back to get back into the game. But if you think too much like that, you accept being behind as a real challenge for you. I mean the greatest challenge is being in front and staying in front and moving the scoreboard north rather than being in the balance all the time. So for us to get 4 goals down wasn't good enough, and that'll be part of the review we go through on Monday, because there's to make our job harder. To be 4 goals down does that. So. We've got to fix those problems up that result in those goals against us. And I think their pressure and also some of our turnovers just were disappointing, to be honest. A really good work in progress, I think. I think the question before about our delivery inside 50 obviously affects forwards greatly, but no, I mean they've both played 17 games each or something. So by the end of the year, I'd like to think they've played at least another 15, 16, 17, 18, as many games as they can this year, so they get that synergy going.